Excessive discharge temperature. Check the coolant level in the unit. It should be visible in the oil sight glass during full load operation. Add lubricant as needed. Inspect the oil cooler for blocked air passages. Clean the cooler if any blockage is found. Measure the oil temperature at the inlet and outlet of the thermostatic valve to determine if the valve core is malfunctioning. Repair or replace the valve core if needed. Check the controller for fan alarm messages and observe if the fan is operating properly. Repair it if faulty. Inspect whether the exhaust duct is too narrow or blocked. Enlarge the exhaust duct or clear any obstructions if blocked. Measure the ambient temperature. If it exceeds 40 degrees Celsius, take steps to reduce the environmental temperature. Compare the sensor reading with the actual temperature. Replace the sensor if a deviation is detected. Check if the controller shows any oil filter blockage alarms. If the oil filter element is clogged, replace it. Inspect the color and smell of the lubricant. Replace it if any abnormality is found. Oil filter differential pressure alarm. Check whether the differential pressure alarm occurs only during the first minute after startup and resets after about 2 minutes. If so, it may indicate high oil viscosity at low temperatures. Run the machine unloaded for 5 to 10 minutes before switching to loaded operation. Check the differential pressure switch wiring for loose connections or stucking. Repair the wiring or replace the switch as necessary. If the alarm persists during normal operation and the switch is working properly, the oil filter is likely clogged. Replace the filter element and check the lubricant for impurities. Excessive moisture in lubricant. Observe the discharge temperature and consider the lubricant used. If the discharge temperature is consistently low, raise the fan start temperature or replace the thermostatic valve core with a high temperature version. Keep 5S oil at around 95 degrees Celsius and palube oil at around 85 degrees Celsius. Check whether the outlet piping is connected as required, with branch outlets positioned above the main pipe. Reconfigure if needed. Inspect if the valve core is stuck. Repair or replace as necessary. Check the cooler for water leakage. Replace if damaged. Inspect the color and condition of the lubricant. Replace it if any abnormality is found. Excessive oil consumption. Check oil pipes and cooler for leaks. Tighten connections or replace components as needed. Inspect the oil return pipe for blockages. Clean the check valve and filter screen if necessary. Inspect the oil separator element for damage. Replace it if faulty. Check if lubricant level is too high. Reduce the oil volume to appropriate level if needed. Check whether the unit is running with prolonged unloading time or under sustained low pressure. If so, adjust the system pressure settings accordingly. Check if the lubricant has degraded. Replace it if necessary. Decreased discharge volume. Inspect the air filter element. Replace it if clogged. Check the cabinet mesh filter. Clean it if clogged. Check if the inlet valve is fully open. If not, inspect the capacity control valve for proper operation and check the inlet valve for air circuit issues. Adjust as needed or consult the manufacturer for support. Compressor not loading or unloading. Check if the solenoid valve is properly powered. Reconnect or repair as necessary. Inspect the inlet valve cylinder for proper operation. If there are any issues, perform adjustments, cleaning, or replacement. Check whether the capacity control valve of the inlet valve is regulating properly. If there are any issues, perform adjustments. Temperature sensor fault. Inspect the sensor wiring for disconnection or poor contact. Tighten connections if necessary. Check the sensor for damage. Replace it if faulty. Pressure sensor fault. Inspect the sensor wiring for disconnection or poor contact. Tighten connections if necessary. Check the sensor for damage. Replace it if faulty.